everyone, and welcome to Side Project, our little foray through the quagmire that is middle age. And so today I'm here with my good friend Ruthie. Ruthie, what are we going to talk about today?
Hi, super excited to be here because we were talking about something today that is sort of a little bit of an outlier in a lot of the things that we've been talking about. And that is fashion. And specifically, is middle age where fashion goes to die? Because that was a question we kind of raised before we started doing these things. And the obvious answer is no, but at times I kind of feel like maybe I am proof that it is where fashion goes to die, honestly. Layla, what's your take on this?
Well, I only wear black, right? So I figured out a long time ago how to skirt this conversation. But I think about it a lot, and I do. Like, I walk into anthropology, I'm like, oh yeah, I've aged out of this place like 150 years ago. And then I walk into Ann Taylor, and I'm like, I'm not this old, so I'm somewhere in the like nether zone. I don't really know. There's a lot of black in my closet, as we were just talking about, but I'm excited because our guest today knows a lot about this, and she's helped me and a lot of people with this. So I'm excited to chat with her and get her take.
Absolutely. We are sitting here today with Janel Dyan. Janelle is a brand advisor, stylist, and speaker, and she's also the best-selling author of Story Style Brand, Why Corporate Results Are a Matter of Personal Style. And I love this part. Janelle actually developed her own methodology to serve as a blueprint for women like us to create their own personal brand. And what she does, and this is what I need, is she tries to help people ask not what should I wear today, but more of a like, what story do I want to tell? So I'm interested in learning more about that. So welcome, Janelle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this.
So, I mean, there's lots of ways we can think about this, but let's start for a minute on your philosophy, because I think that's sort of an important thing. And that is like, how do I tell a story, and what do the clothes in my closet portray? Like, what are they saying when I walk in a room, or all that? How does one break that concept down and really think about it as, because what you wear is very personal, right? I mean, it's very much like, I wear black because I'm like, well, this is neutral and very few people judge me in this, right? At least not in San Francisco. But like, how do we think through that? How do you think through that?
Fashion is its own language, right? And so I like to always think of what is the conversation that I want to have when I walk into a room, or what is the conversation that I want to have to myself before I leave my house, so that when I step out of the door, I'm confident and I'm going to be my best self, right? So I see kind of it in three parts, and that's the method that you kind of reference, which is start with your story, right? Who am I? Where am I going in my life? Like right now, I'm a mom of a toddler that drools everywhere. And, what's my story? Who am I? And then from there, it's then what do I want to wear? And why do I want to wear this piece? Or why do I want to wear this look? And that then starts that conversation you're going to have. So that's the whole concept of what I see as fashion, as language, as a way to tell your story, as a way to connect with other people. And so that's kind of the crux of it. So let's say now, with some of my clients, it's the middle age, and we're like, look, I don't know if I can swear, but we've got
You can swear.
Okay. So we've got a shit ton of clothes in our closet. We've got a ton of stories that those clothes are going to tell, right? We've got our favorite college sweater that's, probably stolen from your ex-boyfriend that you never returned because he broke your heart, right? You've got your first J. Crew professional collared shirt that kind of fits, but for some reason it makes you feel good when you need to put it back on. Or you've got those red bottom heels from your board days or whatever it is. We've got a ton of stories in our closet. And like you said, fashion goes to die. Fashion doesn't die in our closet. It just needs to be revisited. And go back in there and say, okay, what are all these stories that are happening? And I'm going to take them out, and I'm going to say, now here I am. And I'm going to try them back on and say, what works for me? What doesn't work? But again, our closet is a gold mine for so many reasons, for so many ways and reasons, because we can go back in there and find out, revisit different stories, say that story still lives with me. That's still the same story I want to tell. That's still the same communication I want to have, or conversation I want to have. And so it starts within your closet.
Right. So the jeans that are too small for me in my closet are the story I want to tell in the future when they fit me.
Well, that's a great point, right? So then what do we do with the jeans that don't fit, but we somehow don't get rid of them, right? And so what I say is take a Saturday, start early when you feel your thinnest, go put those jeans back on, say, nope, not working because my hormones are changing, my midsection's thicker, but I'm going to put them on one more time. I'm going to relive that little thing, whatever that might be, the first concert you go to or whatever it is, and then put them in a pile and pass them on, right? Because as we go through those pieces and say it's not now, it was then, but not now, we get rid of it, we feel lighter. And when we feel lighter, we kind of feel happier. And we haven't even lost a pound on the scale, right? Because who likes to weigh themselves? But you're starting to get rid of these stories that no longer identify with you. And you start to pare down into pieces that really do work for you.
So how do you go about creating your own brand through your style choices? And how does our brand evolve, actually? Like, I feel like maybe I had one brand when I was in my 20s, and then I had a different brand when I was in my 30s, and now I'm in my late 40s, and I'm a totally different person. How do I kind of revisit that brand now that I'm a little bit older?
So when you're asking brand, are you asking like a Prada versus a Gucci? Or are you like
No, like personal brand?
Yeah. So I think right now, taking away the fashion piece of it, I think middle age right now for women, there's three key factors that are happening for us. We've got three changes. We've got our physical change, right, with our menopause and perimenopause. We have our mental health and emotional change that's happening. And then we also have our change of lifestyle, right? Our change of priorities that are happening. So if I can, I'd like to address that first before we then go into what brand we are. So if we can understand this, then we can understand what cuts we wear. We can understand what colors we choose, right? So we are physically changing. We know that. I could go on, 50 different things that happen during perimenopause, right? But let's take a few. We've got hormonal changes and our body shapes are changing. Our estrogen is dropping. And so we're getting thicker in the middle, like I said earlier. And so how does that change what we wear? It changes the fabrics we pick, right? It changes the high-waisted skirts or high-waisted jeans. They don't feel right anymore, right? They're not closing in. Or when you sit down, you've got some extra muffin top that's coming over it. And you're like, I don't like this. This used to be my thing, right? So we need to shift and saying, okay, I'm going to accept this body of what I have. I'm going to love it, first of all. I'm going to be grateful that I'm still here and healthy. And I'm going to wear it differently. I'm going to get flexible waistbands, right? I mean, the jeans these days, brilliant. They're no longer Levi tight, right? So let's love those, right? We also have skin changes. So our collagen is decreasing. And so we are a little looser in the arms. My neck has a little bit more skin that's happening, right? We've got saggier in other areas. Let's just be honest, right? And so what does that mean? Well, we're going to shift to the fabrics we wear. And so we have silks or cottons or linens that will smooth out those areas. Cuts where, you're going to be doing 3/4, maybe not the tank tops, if that makes you feel more confident, not comfortable, but confident, right? And so that happens. We have hot flashes. How does that change what we wear? We can't wear wool as much anymore, right? Our skin texture is also drier. And so you feel scratchier, itchier, things don't feel right. We have boob sweat. Got to think about moisture wicking athleisure wear, right? Like, look at, right? If you can do a Lulu tank top underneath a great killer blazer, do it because you're soaking it all up.
Yep.
Then you're not worried about it, right? I mean, you've got like new deodorants that are even happening for us. You also have changes in hair texture, which is going to affect what, your fashion and your style. My hair is thinning again. I used to be short. I might go shorter again, right? If I go short, my neck is now more of noticed, right? That's going to change the cuts that I wear, right? Turtlenecks might look better on me. Though now with my neck, you got to fine line that. But those things shift. We also are growing gray, and more women are embracing the color, right, as we change. And so grays and those hues go differently with different colors that you put on your body. And so those will be changing. Two other ones that I love, shoes, right? My heels don't work the same. Our bone density is changing, right? So what do we do with that? I'm in loving all these different fun brands of Rothy's are coming back. Clerics is a great mule that you can wear. On running shoes are still cool, but not, boxy because, your feet still kind of hurt. And so embracing that, not saying goodbye to the heels, but just saying not now. Right now, I'm going to just feel confident first and kind of get my groove back.
I love that sneakers are in fashion now. That is something that I have, absolutely embraced.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to be comfortable because then we're confident, right? And then the other one is our breasts are changing, our sizes. And so what used to be a V-neck that would hit, kind of the middle collarbone is now kind of getting, kind of getting not a V-neck. It's going into a U-ish kind of, right? Or, for some women, breasts that are growing is a welcomed thing. And so the V-necks are now suddenly fun for them, right? And so just understanding all those things does play a part in how we're dressing and what we're wearing. And then the other part is our mental and emotional changes, right? So we've got mood swings, we've got anxieties, we've got depression that can happen. We're having somewhat of an identity crisis going on, like who we are. And so acknowledging that, giving us self-grace, embracing that, saying, all right, if I'm anxious, what do I put on that gives me more confidence? For me, it's the collared shirt, right? I need, even today, I was anxious for this. I'm always anxious. And so I'm going to embrace it and say, all right, I really want to wear a white t-shirt because that's my comfort. But I know that if I put on a collared top, I'm going to feel more confident and I'm going to be my best self and be authentic. And then you also got changes of life. So we've got the empty nest syndrome, right? Or I say the bird launchers that we're doing. And
I love that.
Right? We're launching birds.
I haven't heard that before. I think that's really cute.
Yeah, my mom was really sweet. She's like, I'm crying. My sons went to college. And she's like, you're launching birds. I'm like, yeah, they're come back. Yeah, damn it. And so that's a big identity crisis, right? We're no longer going to be dressing for the soccer field. We're no longer going to be dressing for school events, right? Some of us are saying, well, what are we going to dress for? Right. What do we do? And then you have women that are jumping out of their careers, right? Saying, I'm not going to go 9 to 5. I'm not going to be doing boards or whatever. And I'm going to transition. And now what? And so that changes also kind of, who am I, right? Going back to your closet, who am I? What do I wear? And what's my conversation? So those are a lot of things that are happening.
Right. And I mean, and that, so like practically, because I think all that's 100% true, right? I mean, my kid's about to go to college, the school events are going down. I don't have a full-time job right now. I mean, you're hard pressed to get me out of sweatpants, right? And since no one can see what I'm wearing, thanks to platforms like this, I'm definitely living there. But when I do get dressed, sorry?
Are you even wearing pants right now?
Of course I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing sweatpants.
Maybe I'm not. I don't know.
I will tell you, Rag & Bone makes a really good pair of sweatpants that literally look like jeans.
Oh.
Get out.
That's exciting. I'm adding that to my list.
My niece even came and said, Janel, you have to get some. So I was like, okay, I got some props there. And it buttons like jeans. I mean, no joke. Like, it's not jeggings or whatever. It's pretty sweet.
I'm adding that to my list.
Yeah. I mean,
but okay, so you have a keen fashion style. You've evolved this, but for the average person that, walks into their closet and is like, I hate it all, or I like 1, 2 things, how does one kind of think about, especially in midlife, when, to your point, so much is changing, right? Like your body's changing, your emotional state's changing, your circumstances are often changing, kids leaving, parents passing, a lot of people are getting divorced. Lots of crazy things are happening all the time at this state in life. How does one really think about the styles and the things that look or will feel best on them and then propagate that in their closet? So, sometimes I'll find a shirt I like and I'll just buy it in every color, or I'll buy 3 of the black one just so I can wear it over and over again and have different ones. Is that crazy? Is that a good thing to do? How do we think about that?
if you're doing it with purpose and knowing why you're doing it, I think that's important. I mean, if you, in an ideal world, I would love it if a woman goes back into her closet literally and just puts everything up back on and just experience that on, right? And then get rid of those pieces, because then it's kind of like a couch, right? You've got all these pillows and all these colors and all these seasons and all these throw blankets, and you don't know what to do with them. So go back and kind of pick them back out, pull them back out, and you're going to see that you actually have a trend. You actually do have cuts that you've always been, that you've always liked, right? You've always had colors that you've always liked. And the ones that when you look at your closet, you're always picking probably the same 15 pieces that you've always have. But then you've got that red one just in case. You've got that yellow one because that so-and-so said it looked great on your skin tone and you hated it, but you did it anyway because you think your closet should look better. Go back and do that first, I would say. And while you're doing that, putting it on, put things to the side that you like, keep things that you really like, but you're not quite sure how to incorporate. Accessories too. Like bring out the accessories, put them on, try them on, and then kind of clear that. Okay, now you've got this new set of a couch or of your wardrobe. You're going to start to see, okay, there's the same storyline happening here, right? I tend to like this cut, this texture, this color, this coziness, whatever it is, and I'm confident in that, right? I tend to like Kafkins, right? But I'm crushing whatever it is. And then at the same time, and I know a lot of us have talked about this before, social media is a brilliant place to go as well. So, and looking on social media and Instagram and stuff, and you'll start to see, what are you attracted to? Like Frank and Eileen is a brand that I love, right? I love the travel for it. I just love the way their lifestyle looks. I want that feel and look.
Same.
Me
right?
too.
100%.
I love their travel sets, right? I love their pants. And so again, I know that Frank and Eileen is something I like, is because I've always been someone with a high neckline. I learned that in my closet, and I now see that on Instagram. So starting to just really get some data points for yourself on what are you attracted to. Another brilliant one is when you see another middle-aged woman and you think she's stunning and she's crushing it in the parking lot in the grocery store, there's no harm. All women love to share it. I love your sweater. Where'd you get that? Dude, those pants are awesome, right? My girlfriend is wearing Neely Luton, these khakis. I love them. So I ask her, can I see your waistband? And I'm like, ask around, and you'll start to get a feel of kind of, again, your style, your look, your cuts, your fabrics.
Now, earlier you were talking about colors, and I have to say I'm a solid blue girl. I'm pretty much never not wearing navy. How do I break out of that, and how do I try new things? And this is sort of dovetailing with a trend that I've seen on social media and also here where I live in Houston. A lot of my friends are having their colors done, where they go to a person and they have their colors done, and they suggest colors for their clothes and also for their makeup and things like that. What do you think about that? And is that a good way to kind of find more colors than, add different colors other than navy to my wardrobe? Or are there other things I should be doing?
Well, I feel that goes into a rule, right? Which I hate rules. So I think, I remember we had our colors done when our mom, when I was like 5. I remember watching my mom with those like swaths, right? And then you have your book that you travel with. So my question to you is, why navy for you?
I think it looks better. I have very fair skin, and so black next to my skin is very jarring. And I feel like navy is a little bit softer. It hides many sins, much like black, but it just is less jarring with my fair skin.
Okay.
Plus, blue is my favorite color. So, and there's so many different shades of blue. Navy is the one I like the most, but really all blues.
And when you go into your closet, what are the colors that I would see?
Navy and white. And I come home and my husband is like, really, did you need to buy another navy and white striped shirt? And I'm like, but it's different. It's a different navy and white striped shirt.
Slightly smaller stripe.
Yeah. But I've been trying.
Yeah.
I try to add some pinks and some greens. Okay. I kind of grab it gray. I like the cool colors.
Okay. And so when you're, reading and learning of all of your friends and women that are now getting their colors done, does it feel like something you want to explore? Does it feel like something that you should, or you're missing out on, or is that the right thing to do?
I'm a little nervous that I'm going to go and she's going to tell me never wear blue.
Well, who cares? That's just right. I mean, honestly, I think if blue is what you love and all forms of blue is what you love, go for it. I think for me, I struggle with being told these are the colors I should wear because they'll sit in my closet, but they don't bring me joy.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't feel authentic, right? I mean, I can wear the yellow dress, I can wear the, purple or whatever, but I just don't feel me. So for me, I'd say, yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're crushing it. Have fun with maybe accessories. Have fun with all blue with a pop of pink. Do shoes, right? If you want to play the game for this fall or play the game for, an event or everyone's saying this is the new hue, like that's what I do. Like I got the red Rothy's,
Yeah.
right?
Love
Because
it.
I wanted to wear red. I don't like wearing red on my body. It feels way too bright and bold and for me like, oh God, that's not me, right? But I want to play the game. I want to have some fun. I want
Right.
to, I want to live, try and experiment because we should not stop experimenting. We should never stop
Right.
experimenting.
And that is a good point. Last fall, I was doing a lot of navy blue with burgundy because burgundy seemed to
Yes.
be, a fun color of the time. So I would have a burgundy bag and a burgundy belt and my burgundy loafers that I wear
Perfect.
most days.
And that's telling a story right there, which is I'm solid in who I am. I'm unwavering. I am exactly the same. I am confident. I am put together. I feel good about myself. And now I'm going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to do my burgundy. I'm going to do this or, do that. So yeah, I think it goes back to why, why are you getting your colors done? Why are you choosing yellow? Does it bring you joy? Does it make you happy? Do you feel confident in it? And is it the right cut and style for what you want for that day? I mean, some people just do it with their nails, right? That's their color. A pop of color is a conversation starter. A handbag is a conversation starter. There's different ways to use fashion as language.
So you're not so stuck on rules, Janelle. You're not like, no white after Labor Day, whatever. I mean, that one maybe you are, but I don't know. I never listen to any of those rules. Obviously, I wear
Yeah.
black every day, all day. But like when we hear people like, oh, middle-aged women shouldn't have long hair, right? I've heard that one my whole life, and I'm like, I don't look good with short hair. Like my face looks like Pac-Man. I don't like it. Like, but like there are all these sort of kind of rules we've heard growing up and like things we should do. So it's not so that maybe we shouldn't middle age isn't really about like following rules or basically you do what
No.
brings you joy, makes you confident.
Makes you confident. So it's I don't like rules. I think rules are meant to be broken, right? And I think the middle-aged women today are badasses. We have broken rules in so many ways, right? And we continue to push and break rules and to break the mold and to break the ceiling. You can use any way to say it. So if anything, there's one guideline: confidence. Dress for your confidence. Know your story. And if you don't know who you are right now, if you're launching the birds, if you're stepping away and retiring, great. Go experiment. If you think that you want to wear a mini skirt, freaking wear it. And I'll high five you on the sidelines being like, never doing it myself, but I love what you're doing, right? Because and think about it. If it's not just for yourself, we're giving each other permission too.
Right.
So when I start to dress for myself, I'm giving you permission to dress for yourself, and you're giving someone else permission to dress for themselves, because we're showing each other that we're just going to do this. I'm going to wear my long hair. It's thin, but I like my ponytail, right? Like, F it. I'm going to wear a hat. I'm going to wear a trucker hat this day because I'm not going to shower because I'm tired. I just had a hot flash. Whatever it might be, but let's just be real and enjoy it.
Totally.
I love this. Let's be friends.
Yeah. I love that. I just feel like, all my life, people have been telling me how to dress, from like my mother putting me in very uncomfortable little dresses that I didn't want to wear. And then professionally, I've told the story many times, that like the best advice I ever got professionally was to dress better. And then I started getting promoted and, like I had no idea it was going to work, and it totally did.
No, I mean, I was told don't wear a dress, wear a pantsuit, and you'll get a promotion. So I changed it up and I got fake glasses. I looked a lot smarter, but I still have them. My kids wear them for Halloween, but break the rule, like whatever. I did feel more confident. That was really hard to go down the escalator because you couldn't figure it out. Yeah, it was yeah, break the rules. Break the rules. Just let us all enjoy it. I mean, crap. We've done so much in our life at this point. We might as well just keep having fun.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, we do have a couple of questions that I think are important. And I'm asked one, and then Ruthie can go. But I do want to. So, like, I definitely will sit on Instagram while my kids are watching another Marvel movie for the 9 millionth time, and like scroll. And I do push the buy button probably more than I should. And I'd say that like 40% of the time something comes, and I'm like, "Ooh, I like it. I'm going to wear this." And 60% of the time, I'm like, "This is a piece of shit. This looks awful. Why did I buy this? What was I thinking?" Like, how do we think about like buying stuff off Instagram or things like that and not getting duped? Like, is there any kind of
Oh yeah,
jujitsu
totally.
move?
Absolutely. Look, I definitely have hit buy several times and then had the same experience of like, yeah, this ain't hanging right on me. Or like it shows up in like a ball like that big, and you're like, okay, how the hell is that a size 10? Like, honestly, what am I going to do with this thing? So a lot of it is when I see something on Instagram, I'm forcing myself not to buy it from Instagram. So I'll go there, I'll see, let's say, Cleric shoes, which is my new thing for travel. I love them, they're mules. And so I will go there, then go to the website. Once I go to the website, then I start looking at reviews, right? I start seeing, okay, and I don't do the 5-star reviews. I go to the 1s and 2s. And I want to see if there's like a consistent theme of doesn't fit right, color hue is wrong, whatever it may be. Start to understand and research that one. I also then will go back to Instagram and see if I get any comments within those posts. So then they'll say, "Oh my God, I love this so much," and whatever it is. The other thing I really like to do is once you go onto the website, if you can find models and how they're wearing it, what they're wearing, a lot of times now they'll say model is wearing a size small, 5'10", 125, right? And so you're like, okay, well, clearly not happening. And so you start to look at measurements and you're like, I just don't think I'm going to be a winner here. It's just not going to happen. Or I'll do more research. I'll take that brand, go into the search, don't go to the website, but I'll just search images. And you'll start to see other people that are wearing it in real life. And you'll say, okay, is that my body type? How does that look? Doing those kind of things. I think return policy is really important. I've been screwed where I get it and then it's like, Temu or wherever, and you're like, okay, you can't return that. And then it's like, shoved in the corner because you don't want to show anyone that you did that. And then you put it in your bag to like donate, but then you're like, oh God, whatever. So that's going to be really important. And then if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Can we take a second to give thanks for all those people who go online and write honest reviews and post pictures? Because it's so helpful. I never do it, but I'm so thankful for all the women out there who post honest reviews and photos of themselves in this gear.
Oh, absolutely. I don't do it. And I definitely have huge props for those women that do that. And it's very helpful.
It is super helpful. Okay, a couple more things. I'm asking all the questions, but whatever. Ruthie will jump in here in a second. You and I have talked a number of times when you talk about the sit test.
I knew you were going to bring this one up. It's a really good one as we get older, I swear.
So will you explain this and why this is important and how you think about this and how this helps?
So originally it started when those low rise jeans happened. And it was when I was young mom and I had gained about 80 pounds with my first child and I was feeling good. And, you're just loving that you finally get your shit together. We don't, but we're trying. And I sat down and I just remember my mom going from behind being like, "I can see your underwear," right? Crack kills kind of concept. And I'm like, what? And she is the one that said, "You always need to do the sit test, Janel, when you're getting things." And so that is where it was born. The sit test is trying to understand how is your clothes and the style and what you're wearing, how is it going to live on you when you're wearing it through the day? So there are some standing only outfits. that we have worn, right? Where we're on stage or we go to a gala or whatever, and we're like, this is fine, this is great. But most of the time, we're going to be wearing clothing that we have to sit down in. And so there's a couple things. Sitting when you sit down, let's say for jeans, does your muffin top go over a little bit? Do you feel like where the jean hits on your stomach, does it kind of cut into it and make you feel uncomfortable? No one wants to sit down and feel like things don't fit them, right? They're going to kind of, their brain's going to go into, they're not going to be focused. They're like, oh, it feels so uncomfortable. So, and again, making sure your underwear doesn't show, right? Wearing a white tank top that you tuck it in from behind before you sit down so that you don't have to worry about what's behind. High-waisted skirts, right? Or a really nice dress, when you sit down, does it kind of bulge, right? From the sides, does you start to see the rolls? Does it keep your posture up when you sit, or does it naturally slump you down? Or opposite, right? If you get something more structured and you know that you need to sit up a little bit more, does that help you? So just making sure, can you live in that? Another one that I've told my friends who wear dresses is when you sit down, how high does it go on your legs, right? Where does it go on your thighs? Making sure that, for me, I am embracing my cellulite, but is that something you're comfortable showing? It's not that whether or not the rule is you can't show it. It's, are you confident and comfortable with that? Another one is when you stand up, think about fabrics like linen, right? They crease and there's lines. And so again, when you stand up, if you're going to take photos after you sit down, like, how is that going to look? Is it going to, the longevity of it through the day when you're wearing it?
So helpful.
So for me, and Layla may be in this same situation too. I used to work full time. However, I worked from home, but now I'm not working full time. But I still occasionally have to go to things like board meetings or financial meetings or various business meetings here and there. What do you recommend, or brands do you recommend, styles, cuts, for ways I can be comfortable throughout the day and still look kind of business casual? Like you mentioned Frank and Eileen, which is a brand I love. Maybe something like that and a little bit more elevated, because I want to look good, but I'm never one to sacrifice comfort.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, so you have, the J. Crew, right? You have the Everlane, you have the MM LaFleur, you have, if you're on a budget, Zara is a great one that I've been finding. You have at Nordstrom's, Veronica Beard, Theory. I mean, those are all kind of the mid-price point, because again, I like to think of investment pieces as cost per wear. So like you're saying, you're not going into the office 5 days a week anymore. So when you're wearing the Tom Ford blazer, right, that's pretty expensive, but you're wearing it 5 times, or you're wearing it how many times per quarter, that makes sense. But as you're only going in once or twice, do you want to invest in something that's a timeless piece, but only wear it so often, and then you're feeling, I'm not sure. Again, this is all personal preference. Or do you want to say, hey, look, I want to have some more fun. I want to feel like every time I go in there, there's something new, but I like the structure of a Tom Ford. Zara might be able to find that. I think when it comes to business casual dressing, especially as you're kind of keeping that one toe in, but you're not all the way in the pool, is to go back to your closet and say, what is the cut and the styles and the fabrics that work for me? And then go out to those stores and say, okay, not going in Anthropologie because, ruffles are not me. It's not going to happen. But I do like the Everlane because it's clean and cut, right? I do like the Max Mara because I really like the camels and the navies, whatever that may be.
No, that makes total sense. It's okay. So one last question, and then we have to wrap it up because we're running out of time. All right. So like accessories as we age, like I don't want to wear pearls, right? That's not really like old ladies wear pearls, and I'm just like, I have a lot of pearls, but I don't really want to wear them. It's just not really.
Really? I don't see wearing pearls at all.
Pearls were like a thing. Pearls were, like I got some pearls from high school, like for graduation or something. Like,
well, then Chanel had a big push. I remember back early 2000s.
Yeah, that's not my jam. Except my mother thought that was like the pinnacle, right? But like But accessories, like I sort of want to look like Iris Apfel, like
Yes.
that's sort of like my like I
She
want to
is
old
a
lady like
trailblazer
her.
for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
But how do we think about accessories? Would you buy what we like and wear it and be damned,
Yes.
anyone? Really?
Yes. And you know what? Again, experiment. Buy it, love it. Then I'm like, not for me anymore. Share it, right? Or resell it if these are some timeless pieces, right? I mean, our accessories are changing for also function.
Right.
2 of the 3 of us are wearing glasses, right? So why don't we have, I mean, there's a big boom in some really cool reading glasses that are out there. I mean, that's a story. That's a conversation. That's a permission for other women to be like, embrace the fact you can't read, without glasses. Own that shit. Wear green. Again, if you're wearing navy all the time, Ruthie, right? Why not put on something different like greens and you can buy them for $20 here and all of those things. I've always wanted to embrace more accessories. I have such a love of women who go out there and just rock accessories, the scarves, the rings, the earrings, the hats, I see shoes as accessories, right? I see glasses, I see handbags, whatever it is. I mean, have fun. Like we're not fashion, as you said, it doesn't go to die, right? We're just going to evolve it, rebirth it, and we're just going to do a new whole journey with it. And we're in this together. So, we've got to just enjoy it and wear our navy. I love black. Black's my whole, it's my power play for me. It's just, I don't know. I love it. So
I'm the same way. It cleared the palette all of a sudden. No one was talking about my clothes anymore because I was just wearing black, which suited me just fine. That was amazing. That was so
absolutely.
And by the way, you should get Janel's book. You should read it. It's fabulous. It has lots of her tried and true tips. But I think my favorite part of this whole thing was just the freedom to do what we want to do.
Same. Yeah. I'm gonna take my fashion up a notch, and I'm gonna say it's because of Janel. And people are gonna be like, "Wow, you've got on a lot of accessories today, and you're wearing orange."
Could you imagine? You got the earrings, the scarf, the glasses. You said I could wear whatever I wanted.
Permission. And I also, the other thing is, I love that you're encouraging us to go back through our closet and kind of work with what we already have. I'm a little sad that you didn't say go out and buy a new wardrobe, Ruthie, but maybe I will anyway. Who knows?
Well, I know. I mean, I think you're going to stick with blue.
I think that's probably right.
I really like it. And if you want to add more color, as I tell my clients, no joke, literally go buy a couch pillow, right? Like still wear your greens and your blues or whatever. And then when you come home, pop it with some color there, get some flowers. But no, this has been absolutely a joy to be here and to talk about it. And we need to keep having more fun, and not judge each other and just trailblaze. We've been trailblazers. Let's keep doing it for the younger generation. Let's give permission to our parents to have more fun. My mom's painting her nails now with like different pinks and blues. I mean, God forbid she's spicing it up, but like, let's do it, right? Let's all do this together.
I love it.
Amen, sister. And that is a perfect stopping point for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. I really had a blast in this conversation. Everybody, you can find a recap, as always, on our website at sideprojecthq.com. And you can learn more about Janel and her business at storystylebrand.com and probably on all the social channels, which we will link to. Janel, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's been awesome.
You're the best.